Welcome to part 2 of this balcony cover project. This video is going to be all about how I built the roof structure, the roof itself, and some finishing touches. So join along because it's going to be fun. So first and foremost, we have to cut the rafters. And here I'm working with a 212 pitch. And the rafter size is going to be a 2x6. So it's really important that you know the pitch of your roof before you start cutting them and also cutting the bird's mouth. So you can see that I'm currently cutting the bird's mouth of the rafter, and the bird's mouth provides a stable bearing surface for the rafter, and it ensures a proper alignment and prevents the slippage of the rafter itself. So it's a very important step to build the roof. And now's the time to install the first rafter in. And here I'm just screwing in some structural screws. They're 6-inch, just to hold the rafter together temporarily before I add the joist hangers and the hurricane ties later. And once you're satisfied with your first rafter, you can just literally copy it on all the other ones. So it's a very easy process once you get the first one right. And as you can see here, I switched to using a jigsaw to do my bird's mouth cuts because it was a lot more precise and easier. And just like that, we're done with the rafters. And on a side note, the rafter spacing is 16 inches on center, which is going to provide a lot of structural integrity to the roof, especially when we're considering the snow loads in the area. And once I'm done with the rafters, now is the time to be using Simpson tie hangers to secure the rafter to the beam. And I'm also using their specific screws so it can be as solid as possible. And here I'm just cutting a 2x4 to size, so it can provide a little bit more stability to the balcony cover structure at the ends, as you can see here. And you can see here I'm putting a 2x4 piece underneath the end rafter. That is because I can't install a joist hanger right underneath this end rafter. There's not enough material, so I had to put a 2x4 that's going to be held by structural screws. It's gonna allow the rafter to sit securely and not move at all. So that was my solution to this. the rafter stage is done, so now it's time to install the fascia, purlins, and the roof itself. And here, before I could install the fascia, which is going to be sitting in front of the rafters, I had to cut all the rafters at the same length, so I just used a scale saw to cut them all at the same length. And thankfully my brother was still here to help me out with the fascia, because without him it would have been very difficult doing so. So I'm very grateful for that. The view on this river is simply amazing. Can't get over it. Looking good. And now is the time to be installing my 2x3 purlins on top of the roof structure. And the spacing between the purlins is going to be 12 inches, and I built spacers, as you guys can see here, so it would be easy for me to just move along the way and just not have to remeasure 12 inches every time. I just use the spacers after this purlin, and it just makes the job a lot quicker. And to add even more strength to the structure, I decided to add blocking between the rafters. So they're sitting right in the middle of the structure itself. Going up on the roof right under the sun was definitely not easy. It took me a lot of time to install these purlins, but I could not skip this step. And just like that, the purlins are installed, and now the last step is to install the polycarbonate roofing. And this is the polycarbonate roofing that I'm going to be using. It has a gray color to it, just to protect from the UV light, and also it doesn't age as bad under direct sunlight. Installing this roof was also a little bit challenging because I purchased the closure strips that came with it, and closure strips are kind of important because they allow you to seal the edges. It prevents water, insects, and debris from entering the flutes or the channels of the roofing panels, and they also create a tight seal, but they're very flimsy and they move very easily under just a small low pressure movements. So that was another challenging part, is to kind of keep them, let them stay where they should be staying, as I'm trying to put the polycarbonate roof on top of them as well. And you can see here, as soon as I put one of those roofing panels, the closure strips start moving very easily. So it was a challenge for me to just kind of like put everything together, but it worked out. It just takes a little bit more time. Also, I had to cut some of the roofing, the polycarbonate roofing, because I purchased 8-foot long panels, and in my area it's either 8-foot or 12-foot panels, and 12-foot was just too long for me, but I needed something that was closer to 9 feet. So I had to cut a smaller piece that I could then install in the front of the structure. It's not ideal, but I didn't want to be wasting material and spending more money on a roofing panel that was way too long for me. Another very important detail is that you want to make sure that you pre-drill your holes for the roofing screws, and you don't screw them right away. So you want to make those pre-drilled holes a little bit larger than the screw itself, because the screw will also expand under the heat. So this is a very important detail to not forget when you're installing polycarbonate roofing. And here I'm installing the last panel to complete the roof. And here is the final product with the polycarbonate roofing on top of the rafters and the whole structure assembled. It's looking really nice. And although it's not perfect, and it's very possible that some of you that are experts are going to comment below by saying that I would have done things differently, I'm still very, very proud of this, because this is coming from somebody that is a basic carpenter, and I don't do this for a living. So this is the biggest project I ever undertook. And this just builds my confidence, seeing that I was able to do this with proper planning, proper materials and tools. This is very possible to do as a amateur, somebody that just has basic knowledge of carpentry. And this is the final product. You guys can see that I added some mosquito netting, some lights. I also installed hurricane ties on the right of the rafters at the very end. And I also stained the deck and the roof structure itself for more longevity. So it's looking proper, it's protecting me from the rain and the bugs, and I'm really now enjoying my time in this new space that I built. So if you guys enjoyed this video and this project, drop me a like, leave me a comment, and subscribe to this channel, because I have more projects coming soon as well. Thank you for watching, and see you all very soon. Cheers.